stayed out of this chop and had a good trend down this morning. It was music. Okay. Well, if anybody's got a good idea, it just seems like turning this on and me start blabbing. Uh, thought we'd give you fair warning so you can hit the mute. Anyway, the indices have all kind of, I don't know, here for the last couple hours, they're trying to trend up. This bond auction that's coming up in about an hour, you might see some movement out of those. So we shall see. The DAX is not especially happy today, but it's also not very active. So to our friendly neighborhood crude oil here, my goodness. This is pretty much typical of an August normal trading day. We had a trend established in the morning. The best part of this was really starting at 4 o'clock in the morning, which does not apply to me. But it did come down once it cleared this this red. Oh, well, wait. Larry's asking me to get my cursor, a pointer. Is that it, Larry? Is that what you mean? I think. And no, Mike, me singing is definitely not going to happen. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, from the red ice line, then the next expectation would be down here to this. This is a huge line on the sand right here. Looks like crude oil may close below this today, which is going to put in a low for the last 5-6 years. This is a long-term thing here. But if you, one thing we know when it gets around here, around these major points, especially after it's had a trend, it will stop and put in some up and down. So there's nothing wrong. If you're a real trend trader, you can trail this stop using the MVP predictor triangle line along here and be fine with it. I'm just not too keen when you've had a good profit. So for me, I would rather take the trade off here, take my profit, thank you very much, and let it do its little elevator thing here, do a little dance for a minute. But boy, when it painted this E right here, then you do have another trend down. The next stop would be, and to be safe, if you're nervous about this entry could be taken. You did get a confirm, I believe, over here on your trend catcher. But this deviation level right here also makes a good entry. But either way, the expectation, once it's gone through this deviation, then the expectation would be to take profit at the deviation or even a couple of ticks above it, just to make sure you got out and protected that profit. From this major magnet right here down to the deviation should have given you about 50-55 ticks. When you see a deviation and one of these, this is a weekly magnet. You can see now the reason I leave them on here. The new ones are the one for the current week is always going to be this darker heavy dot. But I leave these old ones on here for the reason that the bus drivers all know exactly where these price levels are. And when you're trading crude oil, you're trying to figure out, well, what's the market going to do? Don't worry about what the market's going to do. Worry about what the bus driver knows. If you know what the bus driver knows, then you've got a pretty good idea of where the bus driver was doing a lot of business, and they're like any other business person. They will go to the point where they do the most business. So this was the first E of the red E's right here. So what we would do is go over here and put our circle on this one, because this is a confirmation that the trend is down if you're a very conservative trader. Then we got another couple of E's right here. And this one, it would be considered an add-on. This start when you start drawing these things, or make up your own. You don't have to do them this way. This is just the way I do them. We're going to paste this on. We're going to get another one. Put it over here. And what you should glean from this right away, these are all right here in a little bunch, and they get all bunched up and at a major level right here. This is telling you that the best thing for you to do is not to take any more trades in crude oil right there. There's a lot of indecision and this choppy. If you're pretty good with scalping, this is still a tough scalp right here. Some people may be able to scalp this. This is not my cup of tea. There's not enough potential reward in there for me to be willing to take the risk trading crude oil, knowing what it can do to you if it goes against you. So I think this afternoon, a lot of these contracts that got sold right in here, they may start offloading those into the close, in which case the market may start a little bump up. I don't expect it to go too much higher. It's really hanging around down here. So my best take on this is, if you got some of this run in here, I'd just call it a day with crude oil and be real happy. Not take any more trades. Wait till tomorrow. Wait for another bus. See what the bus driver's up to tomorrow. So if you have any questions for me, I'll be happy to try and answer them. Who's the bus driver? Well, he's kind of an invisible person. Art, I don't know. Sometimes he's really a good guy, gives us a great ride, and sometimes the guy is a real jerk, and you just want to pull him out of that bus and smack him one, or pull him out and throw him in front of his own bus and run over him. I've had that thought too. Jay, the weekly magnets, I put those on every, I don't know, Sunday night or Monday morning or whenever I put them on. Those are the high and low of an expected weekly range. And sometimes we get to them, sometimes we don't get close to them. But boy, if we head up to the one that's at the top, I'd be real leery about trying to take anything north of there. This is pretty far up right here. I'd be real leery just in case we did all of a sudden go up this high, which at this point I seriously doubt. But if it goes down here to the low one, down in here, this is a very powerful magnet. And somebody was asking me the other day about they hadn't paid too much attention to magnets. These are all previous week's magnets. This is a regular magnet. But I do want to let you know how you spell magnet. You spell it M-O-N-E-Y. So if that makes a difference in how much attention you pay to it, you know, you might keep that in mind. Yeah, cha-ching is absolutely right. No, Jay, this is something I've kept track of for a very long time, and it's basically volume based. I try to make friends with the bus driver, you know, because that's the guy that's in charge of running the crude oil bus. I just know that bus driver better than I do some of the other ones. Anyway, I'll try to come on at about 2:25 into the close, and we'll see what the close does and what we may be expecting for tomorrow. So until then, be real careful about taking anything. I would need, some people see this down here and they say, oh, well, it's going to turn around. It may, and it may decide just to chop you up into little bitty pieces. So be careful. Okay? Talk to you in a while. Thanks.